Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Zooty Pickups. In today's video, we'll be talking about the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scotts. So these released for a retail price of $175, and I was able to get them April 30th of 2019, which happens to be Travis Scott's birthday. So the release for this, the dates have been all over the place. There's three major releases. There was the first kind of like shock drop that happened a couple of months ago, right before the Super Bowl, I think. That was extremely limited. I think there was only like 5,000 pairs that came out, so not that many people got them. And then there was the surprise birthday drop where I got my pair from on Travis Scott's website. That was on April 30th, like I just said. And there will be a global release on May 11th. And I think that is when the shoes will be most available. So I think the majority of people that will be getting this shoe most likely will be getting their pairs on May 11th. So yeah, complicated release schedules aside, let's talk about the shoe. So this is definitely not Travis Scott's first rodeo with Nike. This is, I think, his like fourth shoe, I want to say. He had the Air Force Ones in the canvas Air Force Ones, you know, with the silver swoosh. I'll put a picture right there. And then he had the sail color version of that, which I reviewed on this channel. And then he had the kind of like the blue Air Jordan 4s, which were pretty sick. And now we are finally getting the Air Jordan 1s. So yeah, I guess I was right. The Jordan 1s are his fourth collaboration with Nike/Jordan brand. So yeah, why don't we start talking about the shoe and talk about all the little differences here, like all the little details he added that differentiate this shoe from a normal Air Jordan 1. First thing I want to talk about, obviously, is the upper materials. So the materials on these shoes are top notch. And I feel like I say this for like every collaboration shoe I ever review, but that's kind of true. I think when it comes to like Air Jordan 1s, there's kind of like a rank of like quality. And like at the very top echelon, we have like the shattered backboards. And I think recently the bread toes had like the super supple tumbled leather. And also more recently, we had the Union Air Jordan 1s, which also had the great leather. But I gotta say, the Travis Scott 1s, the leather quality on these are up there with all those other shoes that I just mentioned. So basically we got two different types of leathers here. We got the super soft, tumbled white leather here on the quarter panels and the toe box. And then we got this kind of brownish olive suede that kind of wraps the toe box and makes up these the side panels here around the heel. The quality of the tumbled leather is great. You can see you can kind of see how soft it is. I would definitely say it is a step up from the normal quality Air Jordan 1. So here I have the Game Royals here. I mean, I really like this shoe, but the leather quality that you get on this shoe is no bueno compared to basically what you get on these Travis Scotts. I mean, you can see that that leather is just on a totally different level there on the Travis Scotts. You can see the supple leather, you can see the tumbling there. So definitely super high quality leather being used here. So I would say that is probably one of the main differentiating factors. The second huge differentiating factor, obviously, is the backwards swoosh on the lateral side. So when I first saw this, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a little bit weird. The white space created right above this backward swoosh here, I initially thought, you know, not as aesthetically pleasing, because I mean, you're used to this normal swoosh filling that white space kind of perfectly. Although I will say though, the backward swoosh, apart from this kind of like weird white space issue, it definitely adds a lot of character to the shoe. I've never seen a shoe like this before, especially like something like the Jordan 1, which is like a very coveted signature Nike or Jordan silhouette. It's kind of rare that the brand would allow some collaborator to put a swoosh on backwards like this. So I think this has a lot of significance in the sneaker world. Also, we have to talk about the size of the swoosh. So the size of the backward swoosh here is a lot bigger than the size of the normal swoosh on the medial side. So I'll help you guys visualize here. You can see how much bigger the backward swoosh is compared to the normal size swoosh on these Game Royals. And as you can see here, it also dips down into the midsole a little bit, kind of reminding me a little bit of the oversized swoosh on the off-white Blazers. And maybe that's where Travis Scott got a little bit of inspiration from. Speaking of, I guess, off-white inspiration, moving up to the tongue, you can see we have another kind of collaboration feature here. We have the vertical Cactus Jack woven label kind of stitched into the side of the tongue. And yeah, I think, while this isn't something like vertical labels aren't something that like Off-White trademarked or anything like that, they have been used on pretty much all the Off-White X Nike shoes. So I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing something like that here. I think he is definitely taking some design cues. Another different thing I noticed about this shoe is that the piping around the tongue is, it's a contrast piping. As you can see, it's black piping on a white nylon tongue. I've personally never seen a Jordan 1 with contrast piping like this before, but I think on this version of the shoe, it definitely works pretty well. While we're up here around the heel cuff area, we definitely need to talk about one of the other major features, and it is the hidden stash pocket. So the hidden stash pocket, at first I thought the hidden stash pocket was like in the tongue, because that's what people were saying, but the hidden stash pocket is actually around the heel cuff right here. You can see it's Velcroed shut. I don't know if you can see that. And you can actually just kind of rip this open. It requires a little bit of force because that's a lot of Velcro. You can actually open it and you can see that it reveals like a satin red interior pocket. And it's pretty decently padded too. It's pretty cool. The Velcro pretty much goes all the way around the heel cuff, so you can secure whatever you want in there. The pocket's not very deep. I'd say it's only about like 1 inch deep, so you can't really hide a whole lot in there. I mean, I personally can't think of anything else I'd really put in there. I'll just stop right there and spare you from a lame weed joke. So, actually, before we move on, one last thing about this pocket. Because this pocket is here, this heel cuff area has been changed slightly from a normal Jordan 1. So as you can see here, on a normal Jordan 1, you have this like kind of like puffy padding here along the heel area. Here, you can see that the area is just done up in nylon and there is no padding because of the pocket. And there is some reinforcement stitching here going along the heel cuff along the nylon, so this kind of creates some new lines that don't exist on a normal Jordan 1, and because of the lack of padding, it makes the heel a little bit more slimmer, so the shoe doesn't kind of like puff out as much when you're wearing it, and I've noticed it kind of creates for a more flattering silhouette, especially when worn with skinnier pants. So this is something that I really like. So moving on to the back of the shoe, onto the heel, as you can see here, we have the little Cactus Jack face embossed directly into the leather, into the suede. You have that on both pairs here. Right there, boom. So you got the same Cactus Jack face on both sides. And finally, the last bit of co-branding, I want to say, is the most subtle one. It's right here. I mean, you probably can't even see it. It's right under the normal swoosh. It is a Cactus Jack logo and it is printed in this white 3M ink. And because it's white on white, it's very hard to see. It's very subtle, but it is 3M ink. And when it catches the light just right, you get that like 3M reflection that creates a really cool effect. So I'm a big fan of that. I think that was like a nice little bit of subtle branding there. And I think that's it. I think that's pretty much all the Travis Scott branding. Actually, no, I lied. There's one last bit of Travis Scott branding on the insole. You get that Cactus Jack logo. As you can see, the insole is non-removable. It is white and the logo is done in a red color. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think those are all the differences in between the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 and a normal Air Jordan 1. Moving on to the midsole here, you can see we have just like the standard Air Jordan 1 midsole. It's done in this kind of like off-white color. Actually, the exact same color as the Union Jordan 1 midsole colors, as you can see here, as you can compare, pretty much the exact same color. And the outsole is done in this brown color that matches the brown on the suede. So I gotta say, the color blocking on this shoe is gorgeous, and a part of me thinks that that is why this shoe is so popular. Obviously because of the backward swoosh, but the gorgeous color blocking just makes this shoe a very good looking shoe, regardless of like whose collaboration it is. So yeah, now that we got all that out of the way, let's move on to comfort and fit and sizing. And this is the easy part, actually. Like I just said, this is like a pretty basic Air Jordan 1. The comfort, fit, and sizing, it's all like a normal Air Jordan 1. Air Jordan 1s fit true to size, so does this. You don't need to size up, you don't need to size down. In terms of comfort, and I've said this on the channel before, Air Jordan 1s are not the most comfortable shoe. This is no exception. If anything, it's a little less comfortable than other Air Jordan 1s because this heel cuff area is really stiff because of all the Velcro and the reinforced nylon here. So, I mean, comfort, I will not give this a super high score. It's not an uncomfortable shoe, but it's definitely not a shoe that you want to be wearing around all day. Let's just put it that way. So finally, let's talk about wearability and applicability and fits. So I think this is where this shoe really shines. Like I just mentioned, this is a very good looking shoe. The color blocking is insane. You got that that suede, the brown suede, you got the off-white, kind of like white leather panels, and then you got the black and you got the pop of red. Overall, all these colors just work really well together. And also they're kind of like a neutral color palette, meaning that you can pretty much wear whatever you want and still look good wearing these shoes. So the first time I ever saw these shoes on a person, I think, was Adam Levine wearing them during the halftime show at the Super Bowl. And he was wearing like skinny black jeans with these. Looked great. So yeah, you could wear black skinny pants. You could wear, I guess, distressed jeans, skinny jeans. You could wear camo pants. I mean, you could wear olive pants, and I can pretty much go on and on. I think a lot of fits would look good with it. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this is an extremely versatile shoe that you can put into a lot of different outfit rotations, and I think that really gives this shoe a lot of value. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up everything I have to say about the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1. If you guys don't have this yet, May 11th is right around the corner. That's going to be the big global release. So hopefully, you know, you guys watching can get lucky. For me anyway, I have my pair. I'm pretty happy. I don't think I'm going to cut the tags off this just yet. I'm going to keep these dead stock on the shelf behind me for now, and it will be one of my coveted possessions. So please excuse the lace bags in the on-foot section that I will roll at the end of the video. But yeah, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.